The station itself opened in 1915, built by the Canadian Pacific Railway to welcome passengers arriving from Europe by steamship along the St. Lawrence River, outside the beautiful Chateau Frontenac as you see here, and the passengers would then board a train heading west for the untouched beauty of the Canadian Rockies, or vice versa in the opposite direction. Now the station is named Gare du Palais, which in English means Palace Station, which makes a lot of sense, since it does look almost like a mini palace, or a mini Chateau Frontenac if you compare them side by side. But the station is also almost an identical clone of the original Canadian Pacific waterfront station that they opened in Vancouver in 1898 and was then demolished less than 20 years later. Gare du Palais would become a Union station a few years after opening following World War I and would begin serving both Canadian National and Canadian Pacific passenger trains, a time when you could still see the Chateau Frontenac towering above the skyline from the station tracks below. But by 1976, the station would close and was slated for demolition to follow shortly after. She would lay empty until 1985, when the new government-formed Crown Corporation Via Rail Canada would reopen it. Now, the station originally featured 6 tracks heading south as you see here in the old school photo, but during the closure, the Canadian Pacific would remove all passenger tracks outside the station, so Via would have to construct 3 new tracks facing north instead, which would then be enclosed so that the buildings that exist on top of it today could be constructed shortly after, but the station itself would reopen on November 8th of 1985, and the great station would begin serving passengers once again. Today, Gare du Palais stands as one of Via Rail's 4 heritage stations, alongside Halifax Station, Winnipeg Union Station, and Pacific Central in Vancouver. Via pledged $125 million back in 2023 to try and bring all these stations up to a modern day standard, so as much of a bummer as it is to arrive and see the great station here in Quebec undergoing a major facelift, and the majority of her interior, including the stone arches and vaulted ceilings, almost completely unrecognizable, it is good to know that she will continue serving passengers the same way that she has for over 110 years. So Mom and I would head inside the station, and we would head for the check-in desk and into the business lounge for a very much needed espresso this morning.